Lesson 28, page 56. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Respected students, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to today's lesson of the Qaidah. Today we shall be covering page 56. Just to take you back and give you an understanding of page 56. If we go back to page 26, we read and came across the alphabet, Arabic alphabet, and also the different shapes of each letter. So you had alif and the different shapes of alif, ba, and the different shapes of ba. Then you have ta and the different shapes of ta, depending whether the shape comes at the beginning of a word, whether the shape comes in, whether that letter comes in the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, or at the end of a word. Depending on that, the shape of the letter will change. So, the same thing in mind, page 56 is exactly the same, except that they are giving you even more shapes. For example, if you look at the letter ba, you have the capital ba, and then you have 4 separate shapes of the letter ba when the letter ba comes in the beginning of a word. So please have a look at it. This page is not just to read, but this page is to recognize the different shapes of each letter. So remember, it's not just saying ba, 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 like that. No. Rather, it is to recognize the shapes, the different shapes of each letter, and to try and remember. So in the next couple of pages and in the rest of the Qaidah, when we come across these different shapes, we are able to recognize which letter it is. So let's start with alif. Alif, we have a capital alif, and you have the alif at the end. Now, why is there no beginning or middle alif? There are certain letters which we might have come across on page 26, which are called the naughty letters. The naughty letters are alif, dal, dhal, ra, za, and waw. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 letters. Now these 6 letters are called naughty letters because of a reason. And the reason is that these 6 letters do not allow the next letter, following letter, to join up with it. Okay? These 6 letters do not allow the following letter after it to join up with it. Okay? Okay. Now look at ba. You have a capital ba. Then we have 4 different shapes of ba if the letter ba comes at the beginning of the word. Then after that, straight after that, you have another 3 different shapes of ba if the letter ba comes in the middle of a word. And finally, you have that 1 shape of the letter ba if it comes at the end of a word. Now, just to remind you that on page 56, this is not all new. Okay, it's not totally brand new, and this is not all new. No, rather, a lot of these shapes you already have come across either on page 26 or after page 26 until now. You have come across a lot of the shapes of each letter. So do not be totally shocked. Do not be totally taken back. A lot of these shapes of different letters you have come across. Okay. Likewise, let's look at the letter ta. The letter ta, they have given you two capitals. One is the normal long ta, which we are familiar with, and also we are familiar with the other one, which we call the round ta. And this round ta we also have covered already. Likewise, I want you to look at the four different shapes of the letter ta when this comes at the beginning of a word. Then I want you to look at the three different shapes after this if the ta comes in the middle of a word. And after this, there are another three different shapes of ta if the letter ta comes at the end of the word. Likewise, I would like you to look at each letter, take each letter, and then look at the different shapes of each letter when it comes in the beginning of a word, when it comes in the middle of a word, and when it comes at the end of a word. Okay? So keep this in mind. Please take out time, look, read, you know, read the letter, look at the letter, try to recognize the letter and the shapes, try to remember the shapes of each letter, and do that all the way till the last letter, which is ya. So inshallah, I hope you take out time to go through this page carefully. Like I said, this page is not just about saying tha. No. Yes, we will practice the letter, we will practice the pronunciation, but equally important is to recognize the different formats and the different shapes of each letter. So please take that time, and inshallah, in the next letter, we shall start page 57. Until then, look after yourselves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.